my mind. Yeah, right. Me? A hero? This had to be some kind of cruel joke. I scoffed, pacing back and forth, boots scraping against cold stones still dusted with ash. I'm not in a mood for games, I muttered. Not after everything that's happened. As my thoughts spiraled, I felt it again. The arcana spilled from me unchecked, responding to my frustration and confusion. Purple energy flowed into the ground, and for just a heartbeat, everything went silent. Grass surged upward, vines twisted along the earth. Trees thickened and stretched toward the sky with unnatural speed. Amsi watched quietly. "Child," she finally said, her voice calm, "would you please stop and look around you?" I froze. "Arcana is an expression of the self," she continued. "Right now, you are unstable, irrational, so your power pours everywhere without purpose." I clenched my fists. "Then what am I supposed to do?" "If you are to become the hero I spoke of," she replied gently, "you must first find your center. Breathe. Calm your heart." Hours passed. I paced. I argued with myself. Doubt gnawed at me like a wound that wouldn't close. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, I began to feel it. The truth in her words. My breathing steadied. My thoughts settled. For the first time since the raid, I truly looked at my surroundings. The forest thrived where the arcana had touched it. Life, not destruction, had followed my emotions. My heart ached for meaning, for purpose. "Will you teach me?" I asked quietly. My eyes burned with desperate hope. "Can you make me into the hero you believe I can be?" Amsi's presence softened. "Yes." She turned and began walking away from the ruins of my home. "First, we must leave this place. Trauma roots itself in the land. You will not grow here." I followed. We walked for hours through the forest. My legs trembled from exhaustion. I was no warrior, just a simple herb gatherer. Every step felt heavier than the last. What kept me moving wasn't strength. It was the need for answers. Eventually, the forest opened into a vast clearing untouched by man. A waterfall thundered down into a clear spring, lilies lining its edge. Deer rested nearby, unafraid. Birds perched in silence. In this place, fear did not exist. Amsi lay beside the water and gestured for me to drink. As I knelt in the spring, I caught my reflection. Where forest green once filled my left eye, a soft purple glow now stared back. Forever changed. I washed my face and drank deeply. The water was crisp, rich with minerals. Strength flowed through my body, washing away exhaustion, leaving clarity in its wake. I stood and turned to Amsi. "I'm ready," I said. "Then," she replied, "we begin." Amsi rose, and the clearing seemed to respond to her movement, as though the world itself leaned closer to listen. The waterfall's roar softened. The birds lifted, circling above. "Sit," she said, nodding toward the spring. I obeyed, lowering myself onto the cool stone. The ground hummed faintly beneath me, alive in a way I had never noticed before. Or perhaps it had always been this way, and I had simply been blind to it. "You believe heroism is action," Amsi said, settling across from me. A blade raised, a spell cast, a life taken in defense of another. I didn't answer. "Arcana does not listen to what you do," she continued. "It listens to what you are." She reached out, her paw hovering just above my chest. I felt the arcana stir curiously, restrained and waiting. "Close your eyes. Do not summon," she warned. "Do not shape. Just feel." At first, there was only noise. Memories crashed against me. The raid, the screams, the fire. My pulse quickened. Purple light flickered behind my eyelids, restless and sharp that Amsi's voice cut through it, steady as stone. "Do not push it away. Witness it. Let the grief burn without feeding it. Let the fear tremble without letting it run." The arcana slowed. It gathered within me, curling around my breath, my heartbeat, my spine. It felt less like a storm and more like a river finding its banks. The ground beneath me responded, not with growth this time, but with stillness. "Good," Amsi murmured. I opened my eyes. The purple glow reflected faintly off the spring's surface, no longer spilling, no longer raging. It was mine, contained. Tears stung my eyes. I didn't know it could feel like this. Most never learn, she said softly. Power rewards the patient. Control requires honesty. She stood and offered me her paw. This is your first lesson, she said. Not how to wield arcana, how to listen to it. I took her paw and rose, my legs steady for the first time since everything had burned. AMC's gaze met mine, ancient and unyielding, yet kind. From this moment on, she said, every step you take will shape the world around you. Somewhere deep within me, the arcana answered, not with a surge, but with a promise.